Is a Class 2. It's over the 1,400 metres, headed by Racing Supernova. Zach Purton from Barry. He's got a really good record on the horse. New Asia Sunrise, run up course and distance. His last start behind Kingsfield. Verbinski, a nose winner last start. That was over the 1,200 metres, gets up into it. Good standing. He's missed his last two intended starts. Kingsfield was that last start winner. Pinghai Star, very impressive last time out. Gets barrier 2 here. Down to Mythical Emperor, goes up in class, likes to go forward, but he has come up with barrier 10. All right, we're back at the touchscreen here to have a look at the speed nap. Brett, it's an interesting one. Mythical Emperor will roll forward from that wide gate, but Kingsfield did a similar thing himself last time.
Yeah, they could probably dispute the lead, those two, and Good Standing has come up with barrier number 1 for Tommy Berry. We know he was quite forward in his only start to date. We know he's had a few setbacks as well. Obviously, this horse here creates a little bit of interest, doesn't he? Limitless. We know he's got a ton of ability, but he can be his own worst enemy. He's had a couple of trials leading into this. New Asia Sunrise, for me, I think he'll be looking for the spot here, just on the outside of Good Standing. He is a horse that can often race handy to the pace.
All right, OK, and the pace, in actual fact, probably a little bit on the sharper side. I think you're probably good to fast as opposed to good there, with that early speed possible. Paul, what have you got for us from track work?
Track work-wise, we've got the New Asia Sunrise, the one you just talked about. He's the first one we'll have a look at here. He's, his work's been good. Only a little horse, and he's got to carry the weight. That's just a little concern, but he's got a big heart, this horse. Barrier 6, and should go well with that barrier. Should go nicely. Here is Good Standing. Now, he's missed basically 2 weeks' work in the last couple of months, so I don't think he's tuned up at all for this. Good Standing. He did go well on debut, but he's been scratched twice since then. Pinghai Star was very impressive at his last start. Got back and ran on really nicely, beating Simply Brilliant. So it was a good run from him, and he did miss the start on that occasion. He's come out of the race well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he can do it again, won't it? Pinghai Star goes up in class as well. But let's start off with Good Standing. Missed his last two intended starts. Here's John Moore with the return of his belated potential star.
We're working very hard to get his hind foot right, because we know he's a very talented horse, and we'd love to be able to get him to the Derby, but with this checkered training program that he's had, it hasn't made life easy. But as I said earlier, he's a very talented horse, and we hope that we can get him to the races on the weekend, get some racing into him, because he's a huge horse. He's as big as Abel Friend. At the moment, it's day to day, but we're hoping that he can make the race, because, as I said earlier, he's very talented. We know he's got quite a turn of foot, even from his first run. The first impressions were that he had a lot of turn of foot, except he bottomed at about at the 100. But the gate's perfect, considering that he's going to go into the race in need of that race. But it's imperative that he does make it, because the Derby's coming, pretty quickly now. So, we're running out of time.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's the time. But I can almost see a similar sort. He's almost first up again here, isn't he? So maybe a similar sort of run again. He's
got a lot of class. To do what he did first up there against Pingwu Spark and Co was a very good effort. But yeah, further issues are not ideal, are they?
No, not at all. If he wins, it'd be a great training effort from John Moore, and he'll feel a lot warmer.
Yeah. 1,300 plus pounds as well, Good Standing. He's an absolute monster.
Yeah.
Well, Kingsfield was a last start winner. Alexi Badel in the saddle with him for Richard Gibson. He beats New Asia Sunrise here.
Richard Gibson's got his team going really well at the moment. This is a good win from Kingsfield. He's only got £3 more to carry. This is again a more competitive race. I mean, this was a reasonable race in itself. There's a lot of horses that ran in this that'll run again, but I found it difficult to not find a spot for him, to be honest. He's going really well. Radiant Steed, another one from Richard's Yard that's flying at the moment, so he's got the horses very much tuned.
He has. I didn't find a spot for him. I thought this was a really good race, and if he reproduces that, it'd be in it. But the question is, can he put two together? So that was the question mark I had.
All right.
Whereas I thought New Asia Sunrise could.
That race there was 80 to 100. This stretches out from 80 to 105, so it just allows a little bit more class at the top.
All right, barrier 4 for Kingsfield. Verbinski, this is an absolute thriller, this one. Mr. Genuine in behind. Dance with Dragons, I was a bit disappointed, but he's got a wide gate, or he had a wide gate. He's got barrier 3 this time.
Yeah, second up syndrome, I think, hit this particular horse, Dance with Dragon. He gets up to 1,400. And don't forget, he's a Group 1 winner over 1,600. So I think he's still really well rated. I'll give him a chance. He should be a price too. What's he? $16. So I've got him in there. This was
just his second run for Michael Friedman Babinski, and I actually like him as a 1,400 metre type. So I would expect him to be competitive again. He actually comes in a pound lighter for a last start winner, who, of course, stays in the same grade due to that extra rating span. But like Kingsfield, I couldn't find a spot for him because I think it's slightly stronger.
All right, very competitive race. Ping Hai Star was very impressive last time. He missed the break, got back, absolutely flew home.
He did. John Sires obviously had options to go to the Classic Mile if he wanted to, but suggested he felt this guy's more of a sprinting type. And there are obviously races around where he can sort of just make his way gradually. He's got group potential, this horse, on what we've seen from him. Yeah, it was a huge run, this one. If it didn't take too much out of him, then he's odds on, isn't he? And he probably deserves to be odds on after that win. I think they might, because he is odds on, I think there could be value elsewhere. I think off the back of that win, he deserves to be odds on, but this is a very strong race. I wouldn't like to take tomato sauce about him.
All right, so you're taking him on, Paul?
I am. I'm going to take him on with the Group 1 winner, Dances with Dragon. I'm just going to forget last start. I thought it was the second up run. And he gets up to 1,400 metres. He is a mile winner. So the further they go, the better for that Group 1. Ping Hai Star, obviously, is going to be very tough to beat, but he's $1.90, $1.90 at the moment. Racing Supernova had no luck whatsoever at his last start. He was very unlucky. And Asia Sunrise comes in at 101 rating as well, so he's going to get his opportunity here. So I went 9, 8, 1 and 2, but I went exotics because Dance with Dragons, good price. You can take him with Ping Hai Star and Racing Supernova.
Oh, yeah, I don't like the odds about Ping Hai Star, but I do think he's a likely type heading towards, Class 1, Group 1, Group Company. We'll stay away from Group 1, but he's a very nice horse. Racing Supernova had no luck, as Paul mentioned. Good standing, despite the ordinary prep. He's all quality. And Dances with Dragon, for me, I think will continue to progress. He's in there for fourth, so 8, 1, 6 and 9.
Yeah, I think Ping Hai Star's going to take the world of beating, isn't he? But I have a crack with Paul with Dances with Dragon at odds, and I've included good standing too. All right, that was race number 7. Still 3 more high-quality races to come, including the 8th. That's a Class 3. Up next.